Do you know me? You've seen the faces, the energy, the chaos, the characters that made millions of people laugh for decades. You've seen the exaggerated expressions, the jokes, the confidence, the man who always seemed impossible to ignore. But what most people never saw was the silence behind the comedy. Because sometimes the people who make the world laugh the hardest are the ones fighting the deepest battles inside themselves. My name is Jim Carrey, and long before Hollywood, long before the movies, my family was struggling to survive. There were moments where everything felt uncertain. My father lost his job, money disappeared, and suddenly life changed fast. We went from stability to survival. At one point, my family was living out of a van, trying to hold things together while pretending things were okay. And when you grow up in that kind of environment, you learn very quickly how fragile life can feel. My father was funny, incredibly funny. He could have been a great comedian himself, but fear convinced him to choose safety instead of chasing what he truly loved. Watching that stayed with me because I realized something early. You can fail at what you don't even want. So if failure is possible either way, why not take a chance on something that actually matters to you? That idea became part of me, even when everything around me felt unstable. Comedy became my escape, my protection, my way of changing the energy in a room when life felt too heavy. I started performing young, trying to make people laugh, trying to create moments where problems disappeared for a second. But success didn't come quickly. There were nights where people ignored me completely, nights where jokes failed, where silence felt louder than anything else. And every time I walked off stage, I had to decide if I still believed in myself enough to continue. Eventually, things started changing. Little by little, opportunities appeared. Then suddenly, everything exploded. Ace Ventura, The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, one movie after another, and the world couldn't get enough. The same energy that once made me feel like an outsider suddenly made me unforgettable. People saw confidence, wild humor, endless energy. It looked like I was living the perfect life, like I had escaped every painful thing that came before. But success doesn't automatically heal you. That's something people rarely understand. You can achieve everything you dreamed about and still feel something missing inside. Behind the cameras, behind the laughter, there were moments where I felt empty. Moments where the pressure, the expectations, and the constant performance became exhausting. Because when the world expects you to always be on, eventually you forget where the performance ends and where you begin. There were periods where I struggled deeply with that feeling, trying to understand happiness, purpose, identity, trying to understand myself beyond fame. And maybe that's one of the strangest parts of success. You spend your whole life believing it will complete you. Then one day you finally reach it and realize inner peace was never waiting there. The applause fades, the cameras turn off, and eventually you're left alone with your own thoughts again. But through it all, I learned something important. Pain doesn't make you weak. Vulnerability doesn't make you broken. And sometimes the people who bring the most light into the world learned how to do it because they spent so much time in darkness themselves. Comedy became more than entertainment for me. It became connection, a reminder that even in difficult moments, human beings still need laughter, emotion, and hope. Looking back now, I don't think the story was ever really about becoming famous. It was about becoming honest. Honest about fear, honest about struggle, honest about the fact that success alone cannot save you. And maybe that's why so many people connected with me over the years, because underneath the comedy there was always something real. So, do you know me now? Or were you only laughing at the characters without seeing the person behind them? If this story inspired you, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who also loves unforgettable stories. See you in the next Who Am I?